1945, the last year of World War II. Several major changes occurred this year. In April of that year, President Franklin Roosevelt died, and Vice President Harry Truman, who just got in office 80 days before, became the 33rd President of the United States. On May 8th, victory comes in Europe, while forces in the Pacific are finishing up on Okinawa and beginning to focus on the Japanese mainland. In July, Truman replaces the current Secretary of State, James Burns. Burns is going to be one of the biggest influences on U.S. foreign policy right after the war. The other most important leaders at this time were Secretary of the Navy, James Forrestal, and Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Ernest King. In late July, the Potsdam Conference occurs. Here, Truman, Stalin, Churchill, and later Attlee decide the post-war world. Decisions made here set in motion the opening stages of the Cold War. That summer, the U.S. Navy was preparing for the invasion of Japan, codenamed Operation Downfall. It would be the largest invasion in history, which in size and duration would significantly surpass D-Day in Europe. The Navy was stockpiling its forces and supplies in preparation of this massive invasion. On August 6th and August 9th, the world was shocked when the atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This resulted in the unconditional surrender of Japan 6 days later on August 15th, with the surrender ceremony taking place on September 2nd.
It is my earnest hope, and indeed the hope of all mankind, that from this solemn occasion a better world shall emerge out of the blood and carnage of the past.
I announce it my firm purpose to proceed in the discharge of my responsibilities with justice and tolerance.
On that day, September 2nd, the Navy had over 1,200 warships, 2,000 support ships, and 4,000 amphibious ships. It had around 40,000 aircraft, had an annual budget of $29 billion, and had around 4 million personnel. It was at its peak in power. You can get my detailed infographic of those warships in a link below in the video description and first comment in the comment section. Called Basic Post-War Plan Number 1, the Navy began decommissioning ships and personnel to the levels specified in that plan. On VJ Day, 202 ships were under construction. Almost immediately, ships were canceled in mass numbers. In the end, only 58 of those 202 ships would be completed. You can get my detailed infographic of those warships under construction and what happened to them in a link below in the video description and first comment in the comment section. The Navy's demobilization plan called for a year of demobilization to properly lay up the fleet and release the majority of the 3.4 million sailors from service. However, the steady plan of releasing personnel home turned into a wild mess as America demanded their boys back home faster. At the same time, the Navy was laying up its unused ships and a mothball fleet that took over 2 years to properly and carefully put its vast armada of ships in a safe reserve status. The third episode of the Navy Post-War series explores this demobilization process more. On September 11th, Operation Magic Carpet commences, in which warships serve as makeshift transports in order to bring back the millions of Americans overseas from all branches of the military. This amazing feat is captured in detail of Episode 4 of the Navy Post-War series. In October of 1945, after several months of meetings, the United Nations was officially established with 50 governments initially involved. November 5th sees an FR-1 Fireball make the first jet engine aircraft landing aboard a carrier. Although only a hybrid plane with both a piston engine and a jet engine, this is the first time a jet engine is used alone for carrier operations. December 1st, Admiral Chester Nimitz replaced Admiral Ernest King as CNO of the Navy. 4 days later, on December 5th, the famous Flight 19 of 5 TBM Avengers disappeared over the Bermuda Triangle, never to be heard of again, spawning theories for generations about the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. click here for the next episode of the series. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell button. This is U.S. Military History.